Yep. Okay.
It is dark and the
Episode
voices
intro.
have begun, but who is next to who we do not know. Let's get the bars out. Where is the money going? I don't know who put any money on
I thought you were
tonight.
going to rhyme it then.
I quite like rhyming. Here we go. Oh, it's Ben. So can we reload?
Sorry, guys, we're just going to quit and come back. Luke doesn't like the seating plan.
So we're going to rage quit. That's what's going to
Good evening. I say good evening, bad evening, everyone, and welcome to Boys from the Baltic Star. What episode is it? You in 32?
I believe it's 32.
32.
32.
Thank you. I'm going to do it with maths. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's a pleasure to have all of you, whether you come along all the time, whether it's your first time, whether you cut in and out. We really value, without sounding too soft. I was told today by someone that I come across like I mean what I say, and I do mean it. We really value your presence. We love it when people chat and fill up the chat room. We often talk about that when we're just the three of us. We do really appreciate all of you, even if it's just hanging out for a few minutes and just watching. So thank you so much. Enough of that sicky stuff over. Oh, Ali, thank you for subscribing. 5 months. That means
Thanks,
I need to
Ali.
send you the next zine. Anyone that subscribes, it feels weird to us that people will pay or use their Prime subscription just to watch us. So we give some freebies every month, some zines, some PDF zines, and then we send some physical stuff every 3 months. Not like sexy physical stuff, like some some postcodes and things like that. We've decided let's get physical. So we send those. So Ali is about to get zine episode 4. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Ali. If you guys have suddenly come across this screen and you're interested in knowing more, then please follow us on Twitter at @BoysBaltic, which is currently experiencing a Kara takeover this month. Did I send it too early, Ali? And that's naughty of me.
Preemptive.
And very preemptive. And if you like what you see also, and you sort of come along, then please consider following us here. We appreciate it. It's absolutely lovely. Fids has a hype train. He's close. Fids gifted a tier 1 sub to Super Phillips. What a legend. Super Philip, well, I'm going to need to get in touch with you and send you a zine. We've nearly got a hype train. We've never had a hype train before in our lives. Apparently people have to do bits or some things like that. I don't know what happens. The hype train just annoy me. I just keep looking at it when I should be focusing on other things. So no one give us anything else.
It'll confuse us.
It'll just confuse us. I'll just be staring in that corner.
I'll bring it looming ever closer.
Anyway, while all that nonsense is going on, hello, my name is Luke. The guns are out. It is quite warm again because I live on the first floor. Not all the time, but not all the day. But I'm on the first floor.
His name is Luke.
My name is Luke.
It's on the second floor.
And translating that for Americans, he means the second floor.
The second
in
floor,
America.
exactly. And so it's the hot air rises. It's coming from below. It's coming from my mouth, and so I'm quite warm. Hello. 2 across from me in an air fist bump over the head in the middle is my. Thanks for ducking, Ben. I appreciate that. Is my is my colleague, my fellow hero, my friend in arms, a Bucky Pump. Yeah. It is Chuckles, Giggles, Cackles himself. Sniggers, the man with the cleanest mind but the dirtiest laugh in the game. It's Ewan. How are you doing, Ewan?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks, Luke. For now. I'm a little bit worried about later, but
yeah, we did discuss it earlier. We are a bit nervous.
We shall see. I really think it would be a great idea if Ben had 2 other people. We need some extras in his house so that we can reach across a fish bump and Ben can duck and the 2 other people can just...
The 2 other arms can come across.
yeah, that would be perfect. So if we could arrange that for next week.
I don't even know how to begin doing that. How would I explain it to people?
I've chatted with your neighbour. She's a lovely lady. I'll make sure she's around next week. And we are indeed standing for Ewan. If you do love Ewan as much as we all do, then drop 500 of your credits. You can't take them with you when you die. And drop them on We Stand for Ewan. It's one of our many choices, and it's a personal favourite. A personal favourite of many of us. But is it a personal favourite of the last man we're introducing tonight? It is the man with the brains in the game. It's Bucky himself. It is our GM. It's Ben, the man who always lives in the Twin Peaks dream sequence. The man that lives in what's her name's new album cover that I noticed this week. What's that name? The
I could start saying names, but they'd all be wrong.
Begins with D. I don't know, but I saw it. They're using your
Dido's put a new album out.
Dido is using your curtains.
Yeah. Weirdly, when I was in London in August, I'm pretty sure I'm in a pop video created by a Korean dance band.
Oh.
But it'll be one of those groups because they were, youngsters doing very elaborate dance moves, and I was sort of in the background of it in Leicester Square. But I'm sure it'll be one of those groups that I would never have heard of, even if people explained it to me in great detail, and yet they have 6 million followers and what have you. One of those.
Somebody go find it. Go internet. Go. Do your thing. Send us the video.
Depeche Mode is the band that's been using your curtains. Sorry. Anyway,
my God, that's a throwback.
They got a new album. They're still going. Did you give it Gangnam Style in the video? Ben? Are you invented?
No, I didn't. I was standing outside a cinema smoking a cigarette. I'm sure that's exactly what they want in the background of their video, but they shot it in Leicester Square. That's their fault.
Smokers in Korea. A lot of smokers in Korea.
Artsy.
People don't realise that Ben invented the Gangnam Style dance. Unfortunately, he was doing it when he was visiting an old people's home, and it didn't go down very well. But Psy was there, and he loved it, so he took it back to Korea. Anyway, good evening, Ben. Lead us, don't kill us, give us lots of chances, and be lovely to us this evening.
Before we get into things, apologies. we do have some other thanks to give. I should have segued it better when you were talking about subs, but thanks to the Cthulhu Kids and Rook and Rasp for their midweek subs.
We love midweek subs.
We do. We really appreciate it, and it brings a smile to our faces when that rubbish day that is Wednesday rolls around and we're halfway through the week and still have the rest of it to go. But apologies. Do go on, Ben.
Right. Well, I think now might be the time to unveil the story so far, don't you?
We must. We're 20 minutes in.
We probably should. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everyone. On the Seamstress, the vast buckyball liner, the travellers have discovered that the authorities are now aware that Brett Sagar, famed archaeologist and expert in mysterious carvings, is not merely missing, but murdered. An investigation into how these security people, represented by Olivia Sharp, first became aware of a crime has revealed that there was a report he was missing placed by his colleague, Freya Kranev, just minutes after the party met with her and told her he was dead. 2 small cubes left at the crime scene, but after the travellers first visited it, still requires some explanation. One of them was taken by the party. The companionway camera leading to Sagar's stateroom has revealed a series of visitors, and it's not yet clear which of them is responsible for his murder. A case that Stefan stole from Laura Frost's stateroom may contain a clue or two. There may be some help that March Temple can offer yet, and she has a potential offer of some work, or at least a contact, to be followed during the cruise. Additionally, we don't yet know what Frost and Kranev were talking about for such a long time, nor how they know each other. The crime scene has been visited by some technical experts who might be able to shed light on the murder. But in the morning, the travellers are expected to make themselves available for interview with the persistent Olivia Sharp, who is not yet convinced they will be unable to assist with her inquiries. The ship is about to make the jump to Dillabrew, and nobody will be able to come or go for 7 full days. We know the entire passenger complement is trapped with a murderer, one with no immediate escape route, but much more importantly, Tomorrow, the great buckyball match begins, and the excitement will be building among the fans. And that is where we resume the story.
Well,
Let the uncomfortable screaming begin.
oh no, man. We're really bad when we have to talk to authority figures. I think our PCs are better than us.
Yeah,
They're okay when we get started. We're
we
just
can't
like,
play it.
so Kara's agent on her computer just pinged. We found out that the missing person report was filed at 1 o'clock in the afternoon by Freya Kranev, an hour after we spoke to her, and it was only a missing person, and we said he was dead. Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, which is pretty sus.
I tell you what, that is pretty sus.
We also know that Laura Frost deleted the footage.
We
don't
do.
we? She
We
was
do.
the original person who accessed the footage, and after or before Kara accessed it, copied it and deleted it.
We do. We know that. We still don't know who the Varga is, but we do know there's a Varga on board because Soraya.
Because Agnar's there.
There's Agnes there. Soraya speaking to June Vicarage, who says there is a Varga who who's staying in a room near her, so we know where another Varga is. Is it the same Varga? Don't know. There are many Vargas, and all the Vargas are different, so we don't know.
But we also know that they have now found a body, haven't they?
They have, and they know it's been chopped into 6 pieces.
And there were just some security people because of a potential fire hazard at Laura Frost's room.
There were. And there were also the security guys that went to what's his name's room as well to check on the dead body, which we left, of course. And I'm hoping I didn't leave any DNA evidence behind. I picked things up carefully, but they've gone in to sweep the place for prints.
DNA.
So many pieces. So many pieces.
What a tangled web we weave.
What a tangled web we weave. Agnar's coming back on screen for this because there's a lot of clues.
We all went into a room, is that right? We left.
Yes, essentially your entire party has now gathered, except for one person. Johnny Cress is staying in the hot tub area, keeping an eye on Kranev and Frost. But other than that, your entire party is in your suite.
Oh, that's a lot. I went through the list this week. We've got quite a big party. It literally is a party.
Yeah.
Oh man, we've got Cara, Zoe, Rose, Soraya, Stefan, Sammy, Johnny, Sutter, Verlo, and Agnar. My goodness, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. We could play.
Sounds a good party.
We could take over the whole of the Geek of Geeks team.
It couldn't be. It definitely does sound like a hotel party.
Party. We've got booze.
Stefan will say, "Can we get that case out? Can we open it up?" I'm quite eager to get rid of it as soon as possible, but it'd be nice to find something.
Well, we are in
still underneath the wrapped up
flag.
in the flag.
Oh,
the Geeks flag.
Up the Geeks.
He'll give the Geeks flag to Soraya. Cara got you a present, I think.
Oh, Cara! And she'll get it, and she'll just like rub it on her face a little bit, then wear it round and then she'll tie it like a necktie. So she looks rather dapper. She's still got her jacket on from after the game. She's still got her blazer, which is signed, I've remembered after reading the notes, by Achilles von Cotswold, the famous captain. Signed across the shoulder. Thank you, Agnar. And now she's got a giant flag as a necktie. She is looking pretty fly right now. And
she is definitely in the team spirit, yeah.
She's a bit drunk, and she also realised that the box is in her room, and what has she got next to her bed? Her toolkit, of course. This is why we bought it back in the first place. Yes, a toolkit. I've also got a breaching charge and some plastic, which may be too much. But I've got a tool laser. I've got the little laser, and I've got a toolkit. I think we've got stuff here. We can get this box open. Let's go to work. Let's go to work, boys.
Okay. Right. So who is going to attempt to open the case?
Oh. Right.
I'm not doing it, says Stefan. I've tried. He pulls out a knife from his pocket, from whatever it was he stole from the restaurant to try and
also
jimmy
bent.
it open with. In pretty bad shape.
It's all a bit Yuri Gellard. Sarai, for me, if she could at least use mechanic 0 if we count it as a mechanic thing, which is what I would try and suggest to Ben that's what she used.
Okay, and has she got a mechanical toolkit? Is that the type of toolkit she's using?
Well, she's got 3 things, right? She's got an electronics toolkit, she's got a generic toolkit, which I picked up on some planet somewhere, and I've got the tool laser. The Tech Level 12 tool laser.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you can't use the electronics kit with mechanic skill, but you certainly can use the basic toolkit or your laser with mechanic skill to try to open the case.
I want to try the tool laser just so I can go again. I'm enjoying that.
Quite right too. Okay, so your mechanic skill of 0, it's going to be a dexterity check.
Okay.
And you can have a +1 for the laser kit.
Thank you. That's very kind. That's very kind. So 0, 0, +1. Yeah, dex 0. Yeah.
That adds up to not very much, actually.
With Soraya, I did try and hit in character gen 0s, if that made sense.
Yeah. So she wouldn't carry too many heavy penalties. Yeah.
Although she's Jack of all trades 2, so I guess she's got skills. First roll of the day is a 7 +1 is 8. Hey, Skiz, you all right?
An 8.
An 8.
An 8 is
yes.
enough. This is a travel case. Now I need you.
So I was just writing down. I think I've got the spelling right.
Keeping note of your sound effects. Which ones to use when?
I'm using that one again.
I need you to roll a streetwise check, please, for Soraya.
Oh no. She's going to get got with that purple stuff that you can't wash off that is in money suitcases. That's less good. It's a +1 on streetwise, but it's a 6, so that is a 7 streetwise.
Okay. When you force the case open, it immediately begins emitting a very, very loud, almost deafeningly loud alarm siren.
Oh, no. What part of the case? Can I tell what part of the case it's emitting from, or is it just overwhelming?
The noise is almost enough to be damaging. Everybody is, cowering from it. You're squinting with pain from the noise. It is absolutely not a kind of thing you can identify. It's echoing off the walls. It's coming from everywhere. It seems to be basically coming from your eyeballs at the moment.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, the
Agnar in particular covers his delicate ears.
Would can Kara throw an EMP? It's a desperation move. It's quite.
Yes.
No, because that'll kill everything in about a 40-meter block, won't it? Oh no. No, let's do it anyway. Come on, it's exciting. Desperation. Time for desperations.
Okay.
EMP, please.
It is exciting, that is true.
That is, it brings a bit of joy.
All right. So, Kara, you're going to basically just drop the EMP in the case.
Yes, please.
Shut the case lid on it, or leave it open.
We'll try and shut the case. As she drops it with one hand, she closes down her laptop with the other. Control S's whatever's going at the time, and then closes the laptop.
Save to cloud.
Save to cloud. Quick.
Safe to remove hardware, please.
Yeah, quick, pull it out. Pull out the USB.
Yes. Okay. Can you roll 1d6 for me, please?
I can. It could. Well, it's a middle one. It's 3, so it could be good or
3.
bad.
Okay. And can you also do a dexterity check for the attempt to get it in the case and slam the thing while quite pained?
With one hand doing this, the other hand control S-ing and sort of flicking it with the elbow. Okay, doing. Oh, Fids, can you put Super Philip's link in the creative bit of Discord as well? Because then I'll give it a follow when we're done here. If that's okay. Finally, it's going down. That's big. It's 11.
11. Okay. All right. When you slam the lid on the case, it closes properly. And I mean, it properly closes like it's sealed, despite your efforts to just sort of slam it shut as best you could.
Oh no, I've got to open it again. It's going to be a never-ending cycle.
And the detonation of the EMP from inside is audible. It's like a fizzle sound, but the only reason you can really hear it is that as it goes off, the alarm stops that second. There is a slight flicker from the lighting in the stateroom. It doesn't sort of go to emergency lighting or anything, but it flickers down and then comes back on again full strength, as if there's been a little bit of just a little bit of an interruption of service. And because you're sort of still getting used to, as a group, the fact that the noise has come to an end, you're still feeling faintly shocked by that. It takes you just a second or two to realize that there is a very loud and impressive knocking on the door to this stateroom. An urgent knocking, shall we say?
Very quick, urgent knocking. Oh. Is the case sort of quickly hideable? Like, could you kick it under the bed or something like that out of view of anyone that
yes, it will easily fit under the bed. It fitted under the other bed, if you remember, or alongside it. It's fine. It'll easily slide under a bed. Yes.
Okay. So yes, Soraya will sort of with her foot push it. Well, sort of lean down. Actually, we've got time. They're not like they're bursting in, and push it right back under Stefan's bed. There is method to the madness, because she's worried about the questioning tomorrow. Stefan's already implicated. He's doomed if he gets asked any questions. But Soraya is still trying to style it out. So
you're essentially throwing the case under the bed at the same time as you're throwing him under the bus.
Under the bus, yeah, exactly. And I want to put a little bus under the case just to create a circle, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. The knocking is continuing at the door.
And Cara will go to the mini fridge and grab out from it any bottles of alcohol she can and quickly pass them around to people.
When in doubt, sure.
When in doubt, get them open, sort of like open.
Agnar will saunter over to the door.
Okay. You pull it open?
He'll check around and make sure no one else is doing anything other than hiding the box and passing out.
In my mind, everybody is artfully posing nonchalantly, leaning against walls and trying to look like there's nothing going on.
He'll look around at the party members in particular and just give them each a nod. make sure they're not going to do anything extra, and then slowly and casually open the door.
Okay. The person standing there with a really quite worried look on her face is Cat Aralesti.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
She's a-
Cat.
Cat! Oh, she knows what we like. She agreed to join us despite not knowing what we like.
What the hell was that?
We're not sure, but we're glad it's over. Come in, have a drink. We're just
Thank
having
you.
a little well, I don't know, for some of us it might be a last day of freedom drink. For others, we're just enjoying the cruise. Cara, get Cat a drink.
Cara hands her a mini bottle of vodka and sort of clinks it with her own. Clink. Oh, we're living it classy now. The smaller the bottle, the classier the party.
She throws that one down and goes to help herself to another one. Turning around, still looking absolutely baffled. Like, I was going to come by and see you guys, once we'd settled in anyway, but suddenly, what was that noise?
She's orbiting the crew, Ewan. That and Cara will pretty say that to she'll sort of say around this to everyone first. Does everyone remembers Cat, don't you? You all remember Cat? Remember correct? You remember Cat?
I mean, there are a couple of people in the room who've, barely seen her, let alone met her.
Cool. Cat's cool. She's our
cool cat.
She's cool. She's cool for cats. We could be entrusting our lives to her quite a lot going forwards from here. So I feel it's only right that we let her know what's going
on. Stefan will say she will soon be joining the crew, and as such is party and accomplice to anything that we do as a crew. And reaches under the bed and pulls out the box. It came from this.
Luggage. It
Yes.
came from luggage. It sounded like the way they clear a riot.
It seems like a very over-the-top precaution to have on your luggage.
So why did you fit it?
Well, that's the thing, I suppose. We didn't.
This came with it?
May not be our luggage.
Oh, it's somebody else's luggage.
Possibly. It came from somebody else's room. Let's put it that way. But we certainly haven't met this person, or in fact know if their name actually exists.
Okay. Right. So everything here is criminal. Yes.
The drinks aren't.
Yeah, the drinks are cool.
Cara.
Cara. More drinks, yeah. Come on, let's have some of these legal drinks.
Good point.
She looks at one label.
If the drinks are legal, I'm in for the drinks. Sure. So what's in the case?
While she's doing it, Cara's just going to she's going to say, "Oh, we're out of drinks. I'm just going to quickly go and grab a bottle of drinks from the nearby shop," and sort of grabs Agnar's credit card thing out of his pocket as she goes.
Well, naturally. As she gets to the door, Agnar reaches in his pocket for his wallet to pass it over to her. What did I do? Where's my cash card?
She taps Cara away, taps it on her head, and just vanishes.
And Agnar will pay for all. because Daddy Agnar mode has been
Daddy
activated.
Agnar mode has
It
been
is the
activated.
Agnar mode. Excellent stuff. Okay. So Kat is, and in fact, not just Kat, several of the people in the room are looking very interestedly at the case now, very curious as to what's inside it.
Did it did it seal again when it shut?
You won't know until you try to open it.
So the EMP killed all that. Soraya looks down at a torch again. Says, "Do you want me to get it open again?"
Stefan will wiggle the box lid. Does it open?
Yes, it immediately opens.
Excellent.
Cut straight through the latch. I mean, you can try, Soraya.
Yeah,
I
well,
touch more things.
I can always practice on you, Stefan. and then she puts it away.
Luckily, they know each other.
She puts it back away in her duffel bag.
He opens it up.
Inside there, the majority of the inside of the case is filled with a sort of foam padding, with just one central rectangular section cut out, clearly for something that needs protecting. The something in question is in the case, with now the detonated EMP device lying on top of it, and appears to be a computer of unfamiliar design.
The best possible solution thing that could be in the case. Wonderful. Cara, do you want to have a look at this? You know,
well, she will, but she's out buying drinks. She's out buying drinks. Yeah, you can text her.
Thanks, Link. Someone tell
Priorities.
Cara to hurry. I know what she's like in a drink shop. She'll take it.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
especially if Agnar's paying.
I say you said there's loads of stalls and stands and things around, so I'm guessing Cara can basically just go there, fill her something with loads of bottles and cans and little bits and pieces, and sort of put them all into a carrier bag. I'm guessing. To take
it won't be difficult to find alcohol on a buckyball cruise.
Cool.
Yeah, the Barmy Army will be there in force. Remember.
Can I pay? How much is like a bottle of beer?
Just a bottle of beer is, depending on the brand, it's going to be anywhere between sort of 2 and 5 credits.
How much is like a mini spirit, or like like a small, like those vodkas that are like that you glug if you go into the park, and you're 16. Not that glug vodka at a park.
So we're not talking about a double like in a miniature. We're talking about a small bottle.
Yeah.
Depending again on exactly the brand and quality, it's somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay, so between 5 and 10, so 20 drinks is about 100. So about 18 drinks is about 100. She'll get about 200 credits worth of booze, please.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll mark that off. Unless you want to buy anything else, Luke, in which case I'll wait.
And no, she'll buy some peanuts, but she'll pay for them herself. She's not.
That's all right. Stick it on the Daddy Agnar bill.
Okay.
Peanuts as you want.
Okay. 50 credits worth of peanuts, then, please.
50 credits worth of peanuts.
Yeah, please.
That's going to be like a carrier bag full. You understand?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, peanuts and cheesy snacks.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So when she returns, Cara is basically going to be bent low under the load of her snacks and booze.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Perfect. We're done. We're good for the evening. This is good.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
if we're going to have a last meal before we get questioned by the security, it may as well be peanuts.
Peanuts and cheesy snacks. Oh, those little cheese shapes you get at Christmas. That's what I want.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, mini cheesy biscuits or whatever they are. Those things.
Yeah. Hey, Leno, you're all right. You've just missed me buying
Evening, Lena.
200 credits worth of booze and 50 credits worth of peanuts. It's a good night. You'd enjoy it. So she hurries back then, dumps the bags, which I'm guessing are set upon by a variety of crewmates.
Those who are willing to risk being bitten by cat, yes. because the moment she hears the clink, she's over there.
She's right to it. Excellent.
Oh.
God, this is good. Cat leads the way. That's what I like.
Good team building as well.
It is good.
We know her priorities now.
Yes. Oh, I feel like a drinking competition. Next time we need to change the Toastmaster. We need to get Cat involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your name's flicked out, and I hoped for a second it'd reposition us with Ewan in the middle, but it didn't. Anyway, does Cara recognise the laptop when she gets there and she sees the case? It's an unfamiliar laptop. Has she ever seen? Would she have ever seen anything like it in her college or that hackery kind of days that she had in those years after?
Can you roll an education check for me, please?
I can. I've got a +2 on education, which is good because that was a 6.
Okay.
That might be good.
The computer is not something that she's familiar with. However, the nature of its construction, as she picks it up and looks at it, implies that it is very specialized. It has unusual access ports, unusual interfaces, like it's designed for something other than just being a computer.
Oh. I don't know if it's just sort of, the worst thing right now would be to open it. She'd be very wary of that it might send off some sort of emittance or something. But so she'll be looking around, like you say, looking around the side port, bottom, checking labels, top thing, like you say. And she'll sort of half make a joke like, I'm a bit worried that if I open this, the seamstress is going to blow up. And she sort of puts it down on the bed next to her laptop and sort of looks at it and thinks for a little while, I guess, as everything's going on.
Mm.
If she's got this kind of kit, it's safe to assume that whatever's on it is going to be well protected. And although I've got a lot of kit on mine, guys, trying to connect into it, hack into it, might be risky. So really, I'm happy to sort of go with the group idea of what I should do next.
Agna will say, the first thing that springs to my mind is that this would definitely be something that station security were interested in, should we need to offer up something in light of our indiscretions, shall we say. But until tomorrow morning, I don't suppose it matters particularly much. How many of us are there in here? There's loads of us. If one woman comes along because her laptop starts sending off a signal, as long as it doesn't blow us all up.
You've got a very large number of people in the room. In addition to the 4 PCs, you've got Sammy and Zoe and Kat and Rick, and there's one I'm missing, isn't there?
There's 2. We've got 2 guys. We've got Verlo and we've got the Doctor.
Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Agnar will say that. Will say, if she comes looking for a laptop, there's enough of us here, I feel, to at least make a go of it. We might lose one or two, but he laughs it off, like he's joking.
Sarai raises an eyebrow. Spoken like a true military general.
Yeah.
Acceptable
Yes,
losses,
casualty
is it?
should be of acceptable level.
He walked into that one
Mm.
unexpectedly. No, I think we could certainly subdue any, unless she has allies on the ship, which might be the case.
Ali, are you drinking to acceptable casualties or to conga lines? They're very different things. I prefer acceptable casualties to conga lines myself, to be honest.
What if there are acceptable casualties in the conga line?
There's no acceptable conga lines, that's for sure.
The acceptable level of casualties in conga lines is all of the people in the conga line.
Well, now who's throwing stuff out there that's not acceptable to drink at? Hey, Luke.
Exactly. Oh no. Well, Sarai's dressed up and ready to conga.
Although it does strike me, Agnar will say, that you didn't throw an EMP in there. Is it even going to work anymore?
Oh.
Is your laptop even going to work anymore?
EMP's just put them. Well, I'm hoping the lights.
I don't know a lot
okay.
about EMPs.
They knock things out for a while. If they can short things out if they're not protected, and they can sort of cause havoc on some things. I'd be surprised if it's bricked this. I'm guessing mine's okay. She pulls hers open and presses some buttons. How has it been?
Yours is completely unaffected.
Oh, nice. Good tech, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I got that lid folded down. It's on the thingy. Carol shrugged and said, "Well, if people are happy, and people are happy to stand by the doorway doing this all night while I see if I can log on, then that's absolutely fine. Just you can keep partying in here, keep me company, just keep the noise down a little." She
got some peanuts. Offer a giant wad of peanuts.
Here, have 20 kilos of peanuts.
The second he sort of turns away to something, can I attempt a check to see if I can get a peanut to lodge into his fur on his sort of head or his neck somewhere, please?
Sure, that'll be, I think, a dexterity check.
Thank you.
But you're also going to have to do it with a stealth check as well.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. They're double zeros. Oh, only a 6.
6 for dexterity one.
Yeah, about 6 in total. That's it. 6 dexterity 0, stealth 0, so 6 in total.
Okay, total of 6. So Agnar sees out of the corner of his eye a peanut fly past his head and disappear off to hit the wall at the far side of the stateroom.
He probably flinches a little bit and turns around. Oh, and have you got my cashless card, by the way?
So close.
Almost.
She smiles.
Shout if you want anything.
She says, "You can have it back. Open your mouth. If I can get a peanut in there, you can get the card back." Dex.
If you can get a peanut in my mouth, you will give me my cashless card back. We'll go and see station security in the morning, and I tell them that you've got my cashless card.
The worst time to roll. The worst time to roll a 12. What a waste! What a waste of a 12. the most perfect arcing
you
peanut.
did it, Luke.
I mean, it's spot on. It's a spot on hit.
She sort of smirks and hands back the card. It's it hardly costs anything. Agnar.
That's okay. I don't mind. And he kind of salutes her with the cashier's card and tucks it away in whatever pocket she pinched it from.
You should use closer pockets, Agnar. Don't leave your card in those pockets.
Well, I'm too trusting, especially around you guys.
You are too trusting, especially around Stefan. Right. Kara's gonna carefully, almost treating it like a holy grail, almost like too much so, if you know what I mean. She's gonna set Frost's laptop on her bedside table, or on Sarai's bedside table, I guess, and carefully angling it so that if there's any camera inside, it's angling away from people, if that makes sense at this point in time. Opens up the screen.
That's a good idea.
She's versed in these things.
Yeah.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything suspicious happening. It cheerfully stays completely dead.
Does it have a visible web camera or something, something camera within it that people would use for webcamage?
There is a camera mounted on the top of its screen area, yes.
Okay, she'll peel off a bit of label of the bottle of beer she's drinking and push it where it's still sort of wet against the bottle. She'll push it against that bit of the camera to try and cover that bit of camera.
Okay.
And then she presses the power button, I guess.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Does it have a charging port? I don't know how battery things work in this magical world.
No, it doesn't have a charging port, but such things would be extremely unusual.
Okay. Charging ports would be unusual.
Yeah, it does have sort of network connection ports and the like, but not a charging port. In fact, the fact that it's got network connection ports that can actually be used to hardwire it into things makes it quite unusual. Mostly everything is done wirelessly now.
Interesting. Oh, then it is going to be a bit of a route around my bag for a dusty network cable or two, I guess. If I put my ear to it, can I hear any kind of hum or anything that suggests life, or does it seem well and truly EMP'd at this moment in time? From what I can tell, you know what I mean?
Okay, can you roll for me a
survival check? No. An explosives check.
Oh man, that would be such a good time for an explosives check.
That'd be the worst.
Out of thin air.
As she leans down with her ear to it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think how this makes real sense, but forget doing a check against a skill. Just roll 2d6 for me, please.
Oh, it's hard to know. 3. Oh, it could be
3.
good, it could be bad. Who knows?
Okay. You can't hear it doing anything at all.
Yeah.
But it does have seemingly a slightly unusual smell. Chemically smell. Not something you're familiar with from a computer.
Leno, this is why you're in the chat for these great ideas. While she presses the caps lock key, does the light come on when she presses caps lock?
No, it does not.
Oh, good effort though.
No.
And then she quickly wipes it off the best she can with a cloth. Agnar, can you pass me the EMP over, please? Just check it's not hot or anything.
He pokes it, gently, as you do when you're trying to check if something's hot, and gets a little bit more confident, and then picks it up and passes it over, assuming it's not hot.
It is not hot, no.
Okay, wonderful.
Without taking it from our hand, Cara gives it a little sniff. Is it the same sort of smell?
No.
Oh. Zoe, can I borrow you for a second, please?
Sure. Need me to top up your drink?
No, but obviously, yes. But before you do that, could you? I don't know if you've ever been asked this before, but could you sniff this laptop, please?
Is it your nostrils or is it the laptop?
Yeah. Could you sniff that laptop and then my laptop and give your honest opinion?
This isn't some weird thing you have, right?
But it is, but right now it's quite important.
Okay. She sniffs at the laptop and then sniffs at your laptop and says, "That one doesn't smell very good."
Thank you, Zoe. If the offer of a refill is still going, that'd be absolutely magical. Thank you. How's your evening,
Sure.
by the way? Are you enjoying yourself?
Now that the party's got a little bit quieter, I'm enjoying it. Yes, thank you.
Good. I'm glad. Well, keep enjoying it. We're always very glad to have you around. You're like our favourite person. Thank you. Who else might have sniffly smells? Someone that has to do back. Cat, can you come here, my love? Can you come here, please?
Sure. She bounds over with a drink in each hand.
Don't spill the drinks. You're someone that's sort of travelled around with Paral Kara and with the commander and different people and sort of
The Commodore,
probably,
yes.
The Commodore, not the commander, the Commodore, and have like, travelled in slightly different circles to us. Could you could you sniff this laptop and tell me if it's a smell you've recognised on your travels?
Okay. She bends down, sniffs it, and stands up and says, "This is some kind of hazing you do for new members of the crew, isn't it?"
Yeah, absolutely. But I do need your answer.
Okay. No, she doesn't recognise anything.
Then unfortunately, although you do become our pilot, you do not replace Zoe as Alpha Smeller in the team, I'm afraid. So mixed results for you, Kat.
As he says Alpha Smeller, as she says Alpha Smeller, Agnar looks over and just points at his nose.
Yeah, but...
and then turns back to whoever he was chatting to.
Pull my finger. Yeah, well, at least Zoe's isn't as wet as yours. Thanks, Kat, though, and sort of clink clink down the hatch. Happy days. Right, those are the two people. We have got one more. No, this is a biologist. Rick, come on, Rick. We're going to have a smelling line.
Does this smell biological to you?
I want Rick and I want the doctor. I want them both to have a little sniffle. See, I just want someone to, if no one recognises it, that's fine. I just don't want to miss anything, if that makes sense. Well, we've got 40 people in the room. Let's have a little
2
sniff.
kilos of peanuts.
A little sniff party. Sniff the laptop, clink a beer, peanut in the mouth, and off you go. It's a little game.
Sniff the laptop, lick the salt.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. He gives it a sniff.
Sorry, Sutter. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting Sutter's name.
And no, nothing.
Okay, and Sutter?
Sutter will try. Nope. doesn't doesn't recognize anything. He can tell there's a smell. You understand?
Yeah, but nothing that sent out. Fine, Agnar. Come on.
What?
Agnar, can you
Your
on,
chance.
2d6?
Your chance to shine. Time to
But
get
you
back
can,
Alpha Smeller. Come on.
but you can have a boon, please.
Oh.
Oh.
I was only warming up too.
By giving him a boon, you're
rolled-
just like making him more like all big about himself.
Yeah. I rolled a 6. Do I get to add anything?
Does that include the boon?
That does include the boon.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Can you remind me? Agnar has some science behind him. Is it a biological field?
He has biologicals and biology both at 0. Other stuff which may be of note for smells, difficult to say. He does have a medic, if it's anything medicinal, of 3.
That's a good.
An investigative 1, I suppose he could be investigating.
You got
Okay,
explosives. If it
Explosives
smells
of
explosives.
2. He's got explosives of 2, and there was something else I thought of.
Right. Does he have any chemistry skills as well?
He does not have any chemistry
Okay.
skills, I'm afraid.
Right. On that basis, yes, he does immediately recognize. He knows what it smells like. He couldn't swear to it that that's what it is, but he immediately recognizes what it reminds him of. It reminds him of something called perchloric acid.
Oh. This is going to be a difficult spelling.
It smells a bit like perchloric acid.
Perchloric with an H in there, no doubt.
That's where they put them.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't be certain. It's similar.
Oh no. Even Cara knows about that. That's a stronger acid than sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and hydrochloric acid.
Cara knows that, does she?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why anyone put acid on a perfectly good computer, Agnar says. It seems.
Cara says, well, I've heard that perchloric acid is stronger than any other acid. She doesn't know anything. She's just rolling off Agnar at this point.
It could have been a built-in security measure, maybe, that went with the alarm, or possibly with the explosion that happened inside the box. It could be, I don't know. Would they use that for battery acid? Maybe it could be something to do with the battery that you blew up when you chucked an EMP in there. Lots of options. Most of them bad, I guess.
So, Raya, is there something random and janky in the case that looks like it could hold that sort of device?
Poking around in there, can you do an intellect check for me?
If it's an intellect check, before that, I'm definitely not using my finger. I could be using like a pencil or something, if that's what the intellect check's for. So I'll poke around with my tongue. Lick case.
Lick coat.
Lick
I bet
coat.
people are so glad they joined into the lick and smell things TCRPG channel. What a way to spend your Friday night.
Yes, this has turned into the scratch and sniff channel, hasn't it?
I wish we could do that.
Oh man, if we could send out scratch and sniff stuff to our subscribers, that would
sort of slightly
be onto something, man.
Moist Agnar fur.
Wet dog smell.
Wet dog smell.
100% floof.
Candy floof. Do I? Yeah. So I will get something like a pen or pencil or I don't know, anything really, a stirrer, and start poking around inside. She heard from Agnar the word acid, and
Okay.
Yeah, probably best not to.
Okay. Yes. What does she roll?
6. Do I add anything to that? Probably not, right?
You can essentially add your intellect bonus, but that's it. Unless you've got investigate.
7. No, 7.
Okay. There's nothing particularly unusual about the case that she can see, except obviously it had a fairly sophisticated lock, but nothing that any wealthy person's case might not have, you understand. And the case does appear to be quite thick-walled and sturdily built. There's nothing particularly unusual about it that leaps out.
You go.
Kara's just going to lift the laptop up, close it, put it back in the case, not close the case yet, and then she's going to go and wash her hands. Rather over exuberantly.
Okay, for at least 20 seconds.
Oh, at least 20 seconds. More like 20 minutes, probably.
Okay, so she's going full Lady Macbeth.
She is, yeah. Ringing.
Fair enough.
Total ringing.
As she's in the bathroom washing her hands, can Agnar just shout out, Kara, how much of a blast do those EMPs give off when they detonate? Is it quite violent, or is it literally nothing?
I don't know. It's the first time I've used one.
There's no actual
explosion
generated by an EMP. It produces a fizzle which ionizes the air, so it can produce a little bit of overpressure, but not. If it went off in your hand, it would tickle rather than blow your fingers off.
Ooh.
If it went off in a closed fist.
In a fish.
If it went off in a closed fish, it would tickle.
Oh man,
would the fish be okay though, or would it just sense the tickle?
I mean,
any special kind of fish?
But if it's underwater at the time, is that going to cause problems with the EMP?
Okay, no, that's fine.
I mean, it might be a problem if it's an electric eel, I guess.
That's true.
No, if you were holding it even in a closed fist, it would produce a sufficiently potent ionization that you might be left with some superficial burns on the skin, or some spasms in the muscles that would take a few moments to pass, but nothing more significant than that.
But your watch is knackered.
There's every chance your watch might be in trouble. Yes. Especially if it was one of the cheap ones you used to get from garages.
Good old garage watches.
You remember garage watches?
I do. I got a Bryan Adams cassette from a garage once. Just as an aside, this is not.
I'm pretty sure that's how 90% of Bryan Adams songs were sold in cassette form from garages.
Exactly. Wanted some new music in the car as a kid. It was the only one that was the price that I could afford. Lovely.
You're just coming up with marketing slogan after marketing slogan for Bryan Adams.
Exactly.
Cheap and available in every garage.
This is I've been watching Old Top of the Pops, and I'm 9 weeks into him being number one. I'm very frustrated with Bryan Adams right now. No, I'm still halfway to go, pretty much. Lousy Bryan Adams.
Anyway. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Cool. Thanks, Carla. I can shout back.
Shh. That's okay. Okay. Sorry, that was a bit of LARPing there. I don't know if everyone noticed that.
With more sound effects as well. You better make note of those sound effects.
Jump
down. Water.
It's different to the.
Yeah.
We're not going to get much more out of this case. I wonder if you're right, Agni. It's a bargaining chip, maybe. I don't know if it's for good or bad, but it's something we can offer of interest.
Yeah, I'm not sure bargaining is the right word, but it might put us in good stead if at least we have something to show for our, as I said earlier, our indiscretions.
Exactly. And,
Maybe. If anyone asks about the EMP, perhaps it was an inbuilt security measure to the case.
we'll dispose of you.
I mean, we don't want to be done with destroying evidence. Should there have been any evidence on there?
Oh. We'll flush the EMP.
To be fair, Laura Frost might have not done anything.
Oh, Frosty. Although,
apart from still some security footage, but you know, who hasn't done that, Cara?
I don't like to use the word stealing.
Borrowed.
To be fair, Frost didn't even steal it. She just watched it.
But
That's
oh,
true.
did
Yeah.
she?
It's me that deleted it.
She didn't destroy it and permanently deny its access to other people. That was you lot.
It was me twice on 2 different occasions. It's for the great.
Anyway.
I've still got it though. Still got a copy.
The point
I
remains,
have the power. Bargaining chip.
Yeah, the point remains. I feel these are both things in our favour to highlight the fact that we have indeed been investigating rather than trying to cause trouble for anyone.
Stefan,
regardless of what might have happened.
So I shout, Stefan, what else did you see in her room again?
There was a big old crate box, something like this but bigger. I couldn't lift it; it was heavy. How big was it then? Give or take.
It was the size of a travel trunk, I guess. You know, a big old case. Yeah.
Okay. He holds out his arms. It was like this big, but it was heavy. Yeah. And then there was nothing else apart from a briefcase-sized box under the bed with a gun in it.
So I was trying to put 2 and 2 together in her head from when she was speaking to Olivia Sharp earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That box couldn't theoretically hold 6 bits of a human body in, could
it? Stefan starts, like rearranging bits and pieces of body
raving
in his head. Yeah, big fish, little fish, giant luggage case.
Yes, the trunk would have been probably large enough to contain a body even without chopping it into pieces. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How big was the body? He says to Cara. Cara saw the body. He knows that, right?
Oh,
how big was the guy? Was he a big guy?
He was about Ben. It's going to sound like Ben, but it's Cara speaking.
What is his volume? If you're
I'll move my lips and Ben will. I'll move my lips and Ben will do the.
We'll synchronise this together as best we can.
Right.
He was large for a human, stocky, well built, but not a giant.
That wasn't very helpful from Cara, but there we go.
Yeah, it would have fitted. I mean, to be honest, by the sounds of things, he would have fitted without chopping him up. So either that's not where he was found, or somebody really wanted to chop someone up.
Some days we all feel that.
He goes into a bit of 1,000-yard stare. That, I suppose.
Sometimes you all just have the urge to chop someone up. I've got many ideas. I've narrowed it down to 3, I think. Yes, we need to break into the suitcase, but Stefan was too weak to pick it up. Perhaps it's full of body.
I mean, it's hard to tell, Stefan says. If it was full of clothes, I'm pretty weak anyway. I'm not sure I would have been able to lift it. But if it was full of body, probably not.
Full of body. Well,
who knows?
Are we saying there's nothing else we can do this evening apart from... oh, you need to change your background, John. Are you saying there's nothing else we can do this evening apart from drink and worry about tomorrow?
I mean, that realistically, unless you want to go out on the prowl and see if you can dig up fresh leads, you've probably hit the end of today's investigation. The only thing I could perhaps suggest is you could theoretically open up the computer and look at its insides, but truthfully, I think what you'd find there is what you suspect.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't want to start opening things up because security might be able to do something with it. Yep, it's almost like a peace offering as it stands, I guess. Yeah. Who had last contact over Johnny? Does anyone want to? Was it that was Agnar, wasn't it? Agnar and Kara.
Yes, I think so. Well,
Did
last physical contact, yeah.
Yeah, Stefan asked him to let him know if Laura Frost left wherever she was meeting, didn't he? But I think I lose track of the time frame, if I'm honest.
Agnar, see what poor old Johnny's up to. He's missing all the fun and the ear-splitting pain and the weird smell games.
Yeah. I mean, he does love a good smell game. Agnar will shoot him a message and just say, "Hey, Johnny, everything okay? Whereabouts are you? We're all back at the room, having some drinks."
He says, "Oh, hi. Yeah, I got myself a drink as well. It looks as if Kranev isn't in any particular hurry to head back to her room. I'm keeping an eye on her, but she parted company with the other one some time ago. I'm just sticking on Kranev unless you got something else for me to do."
He'll relay that to the group and just say, You should come back and have some drinks, right?"
Yeah, we could keep you out there 24 hours a day, but it does seem unfair to him. He's pulled a shift, to be fair.
Yeah.
He must have done about 5 hours by now.
Yeah.
Because we had brunch, and then we had another brunch, and then he had to go halfway through the second brunch. Yeah, it's been a decent while.
Brunch.
Yeah.
He'll then drop her a message and just say, "Yes, could you report back here quickly? We've got some R&R to take part in."
Okay. So he says, "Yep, I'm on my way."
Perfect. He's on his way. He'll be here
Hey,
at some point, I imagine.
Cool. Then, do you have anything else you want to do tonight, Ewan? Or are you just going to dance the night away?
No, sorry, I don't. I am good for the evening. I will. Both of mine will happily have some more drinks, relax a little bit. Stefan, especially, will try and relax a little bit more.
Sarai's having to slow down the drinking. She's been told she's got to go for a meeting before the play starts. She's got to be there for like 9 o'clock in the morning or something. It's like being back at school.
And she's already had a few as well.
Yeah. So Sarai's she's gonna give up on trying to shoo people out of the room. She's just gonna go and fall asleep she's gonna fall asleep in Agnar's room. So he's got a room to himself. And so while everyone's in there, she's just gonna go and find the room the bed that he's not unpacked into. And she's just gonna go and crash.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, obviously, Kat will happily bid everyone good night and go back to her own room. And Zoe, as is her normal behaviour, will shepherd Rose away to find their room together.
Yeah.
And the party will break up. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds good to me. As parties tend to do.
Yeah.
Now that we're old. When we were 20, they never broke up. But now they do it quite often. There we go. Cut cut to sleep scene, I guess. That's
Okay.
good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
So
Yeah, sorry, Sparrow. It took a little while. Sorry, it took a little while.
at that moment, as the party breaks up, you hear the soft chiming sound over the ship's intercom system, just reminding everybody that the ship's about to make its jump. And as you're all sort of settling in for the night, there is that very faint fraction of a second of dizziness that you've come to associate with the leap towards the Dillabrew system. And I think that's a good time to take our mid-session interval.
Oh, we warp. The warp. That's it. There's no getting off now.
Stefan face palms and just thinks, I forgot we could still get off.
At 6 p.m. tonight, Ewan did message me saying we could always just leave the ship. I was like,
it was a last minute
a ballsy move. I like it. Yeah. On that bombshell, let's. Is that money in your bag, Ewan?
Yeah.
It's a MacGuffin.
It's a MacGuffin. It certainly is.
That's good.
It's some money. It's some illicit things inside of a suitcase.
It is no doubt the MacGuffin stolen from Psycho.
It seemed reasonably fitting for where we were in the story at the time. It took me.
It really is.
Right then, on that bombshell, let's take that break then, yeah. So let's do 5 minutes, and please hang around, chat. We'll be back in a minute. We just got to do our things, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you do your things as well, and then refill your glasses because we have the most important part of the whole evening coming up: the toast.
It is indeed.
Okay, let's go. Music on. It's still on vocal, so I like to do that last because it's just fun to try and catch you.
You know, some of the more professional broadcasters don't actually talk through how they're taking things offline.
You shut your face, or I'll mute you. I'll mute you permanently.
Some of them just have a button they press and it does everything all at the same time simultaneously for them.
No one joins us. No one joins us for that. You two no, so upsetting. Right. Anyway, right. Now we're muted. Goodbye. Are we? Yes, we are now. Oh, Ewan's vanished. You've broken it, Ewan. Welcome back, everyone. Before the toast, I just want everyone to. We're gonna have 2 toasts tonight, and the first toast is not for Grey Hill, and I know it goes against things, but I do want you all to grab your glass because I want us to toast Ben, and I want us to pause. Don't toast him yet because I want to say why we're gonna toast Ben. Ben has been our GM. In this, or referee as it's called in the Traveller world, for this adventure. And he's put up with us doing absolute nonsense. And he does give us goods he takes. I've got to say that. But I don't know too many other GMs that would be willing to let 2 guys have a party with about 14 people in a room, hand out the booze, and spend an hour and a half opening a case and sniffing a laptop and utterly play along with it, right? And I think he's a credit to the channel and he makes everything work. And you all know that Bucky is the key to it all, right? So can we all raise our first glass and raise a toast to Bucky?
So gentil. Thank you.
For putting up with that crap.
Exactly. But that does pale into insignificance. He is but a man compared to the legend who we are toasting now. Look at those forearms. Even at his best, Ben's forearms could never, ever match these mighty oak-carved chunks of the finest barman we've ever had. He didn't need the arms. Pulling pints doesn't need that many muscles, but he took it as a pride thing. He always wanted to look like he was on form. He wanted to send that little chill of excitement down your back as he poured the pint and you saw the bicep curl into itself. He didn't need to, but he did it because he was such a good servant of beer, such a people pleaser, but a man who knew his own mind. He's very sadly missed. I'd like us all to raise a glass to the man with the finest forearms in the whole of Traveller, the late great Grey Hill Bast.
The Grey Hill Bast.
Grey Hill Bast. And once again to Grey Hill Bast, because I think
there's many Grey Hill
Basts.
Basts. It's a Grey Hill. It's a Grey Hill.
There are many Grey Hills.
Thanks,
but there are many Grey Hills, but this is ours.
Precisely.
Exactly. Okay, we're good to go.
Okay, so morning breaks or possibly off breaks over the decks of the Seamstress, and the first of our people to really pay attention to is no doubt Soraya.
She the alarm goes off very unwelcomely. She's on her back. She slowly opens her eyes and rubs her arm and leans over. She wants to press the snooze and then she realizes why she can't. It's that horror, we all know that. Those days when you want to press it and you realize you can't.
Yes.
The only thing worse is waking up like 1 minute before the alarm and then checking the time. At least she hasn't done that.
That is a horrible thing, isn't it?
Terrific. Guns out. So she reached over and she realized, I'm not in. She would, but she's got to be places. And she realizes for that second that she's not in her room. As she looks over, she realizes that Stefan's suddenly got a lot hairier. And then she realizes that's not Stefan. And then it all comes back the evening and sort of it slowly comes back. Her head's not too bad because she drank heavy early, but she stopped before anyone else, of course. So she's okay-ish, mostly. She sort of staggers up, heads through to the bathroom to pour a couple of glasses of water from the tap, looks at herself in the mirror, sees she's still in her jacket and her flag necktie. She sort of allows herself a bit of a grin and is pleased she didn't strangle herself in the night, quite frankly. Briefly, lick the snooze button. She briefly wonders whether this is the correct outfit to go to an important meeting with security with. And then she decides that she should probably get changed. Neckties are sexy, especially when they're the geeker flag up the geeks. What she does decide to do is she'll have a shower there and then. So she's not going to go back to her room first. She's going to have a shower. So she jumps in the shower. I'm guessing the showers are rather lovely, Ben. We're on a lovely cruise, and we're in a nice room.
It's a fairly smart suite. Yeah, the shower and bath are both available, and they are pretty decent.
She has a lovely shower, runs it through the hair, does all the stuff. Grabs a couple of towels. She goes triple towel. She's not leaving enough for anyone else. She goes hair. She goes hair, waist, and top. I don't know how many towels women use. Hair, waist, and top.
Usually.
2. Okay. Well, she's going to go 3. She's feeling very extravagant. And one for over the shoulders. There you go. She's going over the shoulders as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for how many years and I still don't know. Over the shoulders thingy. I think it's because you stopped bothering trying to hide it. But anyway, she does all the stuff and then she pads out and heads to her room. I know, I went down that whole spare and I really didn't want to be there. And I really tried to dig myself out incredibly quickly and it just fell down where I really didn't want to go. Anyway, we're out now, so this is good.
Can we have a philosophy check on towels, please?
Yeah, sadly it's Soraya and not Cara. It's just I'm building that story because she's the first of the day, isn't she? When she heads over as the I'm guessing the sound around the station of people slowly rousing and the hubbub slowly growing around, and she heads over to her room.
It's already fairly busy. There's a certain amount of excitement about the fact the match is going to be starting in a couple of hours, but also there's a fair amount of noise of people actually out there eating breakfast and getting themselves geared up. Breakfast, coffee, their first couple of drinks.
Well, there's no such thing as breakfast, Ben.
It's true. Breakfast has been abolished in space. Every meal is brunch.
Early brunch.
Early brunch. Early brunch, mid brunch, and late brunch.
I like how we all got there.
So it's basically first, second, and third brunch.
She doesn't go much for hair, right, Sparrow, because of her years as a scout, which would be months at a time, pretty much dumping your head into a very quick shower on board a very small ship and just tying it up, running a brush through it, and more brunch. The brunch continues. Ali's doubled the brunch. The brunch should always continue. Double brunched. She heads through to her room. I'm guessing Stefan's in. I don't know if anyone's in there with Stefan. Probably not. And then she starts.
Not on Stefan's bequest.
Stefan! You could at least have put something on the doorknob. Come on.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, of course. Oh, Agnar loves a double brunch. And then she just pulls on. She considers that sort of, like when you've got a court date or something. Not that I've had one, but people sort of have their court clothes or something. That was a very humble brag, by the way.
Yeah,
it's not very high bar.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same thing you'd wear for a job interview or that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And she sort of thinks about it. She sort of almost starts getting the stuff out. It's like, no. So she just chucks on sort of usual sort of stuff. She doesn't go geeks. She's hoping she's got time to change for that. But she chucks on like a flight suit, with a clean vest top and brushes her hair into her usual sort of highish ponytail.
So she's basically channeling Ripley at this point.
Pretty much, actually. She is channeling Ripley. Sad, she wishes she had the old the mech thing from Aliens, but sadly she doesn't, because that would help her out with the security lot. Brushes her teeth, chugs a caffeinated drink, and some kind of space croissant, and she heads off. She doesn't want to wake anyone. She just heads off. Unless anyone has woken during that time, she just goes.
Well, a few others are in the process of getting up, but unless she goes looking for them, they'll give her some space.
Which is what she's doing. Her mind's very much on what's happening. Do you know what I mean? She's just like, she's not looking forward to it. She knows she's got to be done.
All right. Well, it's you're on the same ship, remember. It's only going to be a handful of minutes to walk all the way forward to the security suite. You go through the sort of pool hot tub area on your way down in the lift, passing through it.
She drops message. She drops Agnar a message saying, "Pack moose." MOUSSE. Pack moose. You're
Okay.
going through the sauna area on your way. She doesn't want him to look ridiculous when he gets in. You see, so.
Right, fair enough.
She carries
yes.
on. Yeah.
Okay. You arrive in the sort of security office section, and leaving the lift there, you find the place is fairly well occupied with people bustling around their daily business, but nothing in particular is sort of leaping out at her in terms of nobody's paying her much attention, nobody's sort of staring at her or anything like that. Whatever conversation she's here for, people don't appear to have been warned that she's coming or anything like that. And there is a sign to Olivia Sharp's office.
As she wanders through, she's going to keep an eye out to see if there's anything of interest surrounding what we've got ourselves caught up in. Anything. I know she's not going to like start stopping and staring at what people might have in her hands or anything. But is there anything of a screen or on a side or a wall full of pictures and red strings and some crazy-eyed people or anything like that? Is there anything that she can like notice as she walks past?
Can you roll for me a streetwise check with intellect?
A streetwise check with intellect, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, good. Oh, the dice are very cold though, Ben. What have you done to me? That's okay though. 8 plus 2 is 10. They're really cold though. 10. Sorry. Yes,
10.
no, that is the person. That was what's her name? Who was that buckyball player that we looked?
Alma Kennedy.
Alma Kennedy.
But thanks, Fids. I'll hold on to that. I'm gonna write Boone at the top of my list. The dice are so cold.
As you head down the actual companionway that contains the office for Olivia Sharp, you catch a little bit of a sort of slightly open doorway leading into what seems to be a conference room.
Yeah.
And there's a conversation going on in the conference room. And as you walk past, somebody catches you, but catches your eye, or you catch their eye, and they quickly but not aggressively push the door shut.
Do I recognise the person inside?
No.
No. Oh, well, that's it. No, not much. Not much to go on. Okay, I'll carry on through to Olivia Sharp's office then, please.
Okay, the door is open and Sharp is at her desk.
Olivia Sharp, I presume.
Come in. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Can I offer you a coffee?
Do you have a tea? Are there space teas?
I mean, they exist. I don't have any.
Oh, then a water will be fine if that's okay.
Sure. She pours out a couple of glasses of water and puts one in front of you, the other one in front of herself. Thank you very much for coming by. I do appreciate it. And I'm aware you want to get on to watch the match. Believe it or not, a significant part of my job is ensuring that people do get the opportunity to watch the match, which I suppose is how we get to this unfortunate situation, because it appears that Mr. Sagar will be unable to attend.
So you said. It sounds like if he was to attend, he would need 5 more seats than he was booked in for. Look, her social skills are really low, all right?
I mean, it's factual.
It's factual.
What more can I say?
As you can understand, it has fallen to me to investigate what happened to one of our guests. And I'd be interested in doing that anyway, but this particular guest was also, he was someone who was working for a very powerful corporate client, someone we do a lot of business with historically. He is somebody of interest to a lot of individuals, including, as it turns out, the person who paid for your room. So what I'm looking for here is any help you can give me that could lead to the apprehension of the guilty party or parties.
You you know, I really, I'm a believer in that people that murder for no good reason should be apprehended. I think there's a, you don't want that sort of person on anywhere, let alone on a cruise ship in space. You know, and then we talked about it last night. You know that from mid morning to when I came home quite drunk last night, I was involved in the buckyball. And as I said before, I'm probably the most useless of the people to talk to today. I'm sure you're hoping for something, but you know, I
Well, I
feel
have
that I'm
a
limited
few
in what I can give.
questions.
Please do. I'm limited in many areas, but I hope that I can help you in some ways.
Okay, so let's start with the obvious. Did you ever meet Mr. Sagar?
I did never. I did never. Social skills again. I never met Mr. Sager.
Did you
I
ever
didn't
go
even
to
know
the
of his
estate?
name. No, I've never been. I know there was. I know that Kara and Agnar were interested in meeting him, but through Kara. But that was totally. That was nothing to do with me. I've not been interested in the science of things from the very beginning of my time with these guys. It's not my.
Mm.
It's not my thing.
Okay, so you never went to his stateroom, you never met him.
Not that I know of. He might have been a face
Okay.
in a crowd, but I don't know him.
Uh, have you met his colleague, Miss Kranev?
I have not met Miss Kranev, no.
And have you ever been to her stateroom?
I don't even know where Kranev's stateroom is.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be as completely open and honest with me as you possibly can. Because I promise you, I think there's something very suspicious in this as well, and I'm not accusing you of anything. But could you tell me how it is that your DNA is all over the crime scene?
What? My personal DNA?
Your
Ah,
personal DNA.
I shall pause. I shall think. I should be like, is that bitch Kennedy? That bloody bitch Kennedy. Has to be. Has to be. So you know Alma, you would know Alma Kennedy. She knows you. We had a little game about it.
Yes, I'm familiar with Alma Kennedy.
She was one of the two coaches that we had for our team yesterday. Again, I'm sure you know anything to do with the games, right? And we were getting on really well. You might have known that I played quite well. I don't know if you know, I played quite well. I got a wicket. I saw us through to the end, and I chatted with Kennedy a few occasions, and we were getting on really well until I asked her if she knew. I started asking her because it was coming back from my crewmates that they were sort of just sort of ask around, I guess. And I asked her if she knew certain people and about the crime scene and about your man, Sagar. And she suddenly went really, really cold on me. Really, really cold. And she stormed off. And we've been drinking and we've been hanging out. I'm guessing I'm not a scientist, but I'm guessing you guys can DNA can be got from glasses and through touch and things like that. You can, I would imagine, you can probably track camera footage into the game sphere and at the Duke's bar that could place me exactly where I say I was the whole time. I was not there. Do you know where Alma Kennedy was the whole time?
It won't surprise you to learn that we've already pulled in a fair amount of footage to identify where certain people of interest were. And though Miss Kennedy didn't show up on our radar at this point, you did. So I'm very familiar.
Where was my footage? Sorry.
We've been looking for where you might have gone around the station.
Where have I been?
Well, all over the place, but mostly Duke's and the pitch, your own stateroom and quarters.
Have you seen me going to the crime scene?
No, which is why I'm not suggesting you were ever there. Obviously, there are inevitably gaps in the footage, and it would be theoretically possible for you to have gone there, but for me, the timelines just don't match up. So I'm seriously asking how it is that your DNA matches DNA found all over that crime scene.
I assume that you can't share everything with me, but if I ask, I guess, questions back and I understand that there may be gaps in the answers, if you are able, I hope we can have a back and forth questioning conversation, if that makes sense.
I'm entirely on board with that. I think it's mainly going to be me asking the questions and you giving me answers, but sure, let's call that a back and forth.
Yeah, let's say me making pitiful requests then. There we go.
Okay.
Me and Alma Kennedy, after the game, we're having a chat at Duke's, and there'll be footage of that because I know you guys have got cameras everywhere. And there'll be a time around, and she'll know the time because we didn't jot it down. It was that sort of time. I'm guessing it was about an hour after the game, wasn't it? Because it started really well.
Yeah.
And we sort of had a chat, then we went away when we came back again. So about that time, when she stormed off, and I lost track of her, and your footage will show I'm still there. Is there a chance that you can see if she's taken a glass? Like, has someone taken a glass? I got through a lot of glasses and a lot of bottles.
So let me make this clear. You are making an allegation that the leading all-rounder for the Geeker team planted your DNA at a murder scene.
Up the geeks. I'm just saying that her response was weird. And I have no idea how else my DNA would be at the murder scene. I've not been there. It's not like I've rubbed myself along walls. I'm guessing DNA works. I'm guessing from people taking things. No one swabbed me. So the only thing I know is like, when was the one question I did want to ask, which you don't have to answer, of course, and you know that, is when was the DNA taken from the room? Because if it was morning, I have absolutely no idea how it got there. If it's after that time I just gave you, then surely that throws that into play.
Well, I have a second question then. when we started looking into this, we thought, you know what? Let's search for all of the potential suspects' DNA. So we, for example, checked to see if Kranev's DNA was in the room. And do you know what we found?
What did you find?
It was all over the room.
Let me make a. She's not going to pull out a notebook. I'm making a note of this. Soraya's not in a place to do. Let me just take some notes. Krenev's DNA at scene. Okay, yeah.
And
well, they were, from what I've heard, they were close colleagues. That's not surprising.
Well, exactly. And so we searched for the DNA of each of the members of your party.
Yeah.
And you know what we discovered?
What did you discover?
Every single one of your party, their DNA is all over that room.
Every single one?
Every single one of you. And at this point, I was starting to get suspicious of the DNA results. So I asked one of my colleagues, who has literally been nowhere near that crime scene, has no involvement in this case whatsoever, to give me a sample so that I could run it against the DNA. And you know what I discovered? His DNA is all over that crime scene. In fact, if we just pick any random DNA sample from our database, any random DNA identifier that people have on their system, it matches DNA found at that crime scene.
Are you telling me that Brett Sagar slept with every single person on this station? Wow.
I've seen pictures of him. I think it's unlikely.
To Ben. So what you're saying, that the DNA test is flawed at this because of the insulated space we're in? It's just like there's a total mishmash of people picking up, touching, rubbing, passing on DNA.
I wondered about that. So I asked the crime scene techs when they investigated the murder scene to also investigate the room opposite. I knew I'd been in that room, and I knew that very few other people had been. And in that room, we got 2 sets of DNA in quantity. One was mine, but nothing in there matched Kranev. Nothing in there matched most of your crew. So I'm pretty confident the DNA test works. I think it was salted.
So someone's used it to cover their tracks, sort of impossibly.
I think someone realized they couldn't get rid of all traces of DNA in the room. So instead, they blasted out into the room a mass cloud of every possible DNA sequence imaginable.
Man.
Thus covering the traces of what was really there beforehand.
That is some serious stuff. That.
You heard about any kind of technology like that?
There's one person I can think of that might have technology like that. I can give you a name, but I don't think it's my place to discuss it. Let's put it that way. I'm not technologically minded enough in that area to go into it.
All right, so moving on. I have another question.
Yep.
I'd like to show you a photograph of what we now know is the scene of a murder. At the time the photograph was taken, that wasn't clear.
Okay.
And she pulls out a hollow and slides it across. And it is indeed a picture of that room with the blood stain down on the floor.
Yep.
Though in its much reduced, dried out sort of form. And visible on the bed are the 2 boxes. Now, I want to draw your attention to those two little cubes on the bed.
Yeah, I can see them. Those sort of pixely things there, yeah.
Yeah. When my crime scene techs arrived, there was only one. The other one had magically disappeared.
Honestly, I've got what are they? I've got no idea. I've not even seen these boxes. Is it
Well,
is it of importance to me?
I can tell you that one of them, the one that we have, does contain a material that is used to destroy biological evidence. A cloud of essentially cleaning solution. Though more intense than that sounds. You wouldn't want to be in the room when it went off.
Okay.
I am surmising that the other one may have contained these DNA fragments. But it's missing.
Interesting. So are you saying that these were left by the killer? Potentially, if this is the theory.
You know, I find it very good not to jump to conclusions. I have no reason to believe that the person who cleaned up the crime scene was also the person who committed the murder. It's entirely possible. You might even say it's very likely. But I'm not jumping to conclusions like that, any more than I'm jumping to the conclusion that you're innocent simply because I can see you on camera footage. After all, I discovered that I can't see you on camera footage walking down to the crime scene at the time of the murder, even if I wanted to, because the camera footage isn't there. And at the time this box went missing, it turns out somebody also attacked the camera that was monitoring the door into the stateroom. So we're looking for somebody with technical skills, a reason to carry out their own investigation or cover up what has been going on, someone who perhaps has a slightly disreputable reputation, and more importantly, might work for someone who has a particular interest in the victim. So who can you think of who was, say, at the last minute imported onto this cruise with a slightly unsavory background, who might work for an Aslan noble with a direct interest in the career of this murdered person?
I've got a list of 10 people.
I'm just putting that out there as a possibility.
I don't know if I've just spilled some wine. I don't know if the security. That's Sarai getting all nervous. I've just spilled some water. She says. I don't know if security on a ship can see the records of people that come on board. I don't know what power you have about the people that buy the tickets and are on the ship and how much you know about them. Same, Leno, same. But I would imagine there's a lot of people in many ways that fulfill that. For example, I have friends in Deep Night. And I have friends in the Imperial Navy. And I have friends in guilds on Osim. And I have friends in the Scout. And I'd imagine there's a lot of people on the ship that have a whole range of friends. So I understand the awkwardness of trying to hunt down people with these views. And I'd imagine there's a lot of people. I would say that if you want to get more from a technological side of things, from our crew, wait for Agnar and Kara. Stefan barely knows how to turn his phone on, so I wouldn't. So he's probably a dead end. Outside of our crew, you know from your chattings with what's her name? There's a Dani, March Temple. You know from your chats with March Temple that we've been, well, the rest of the guys have been nosing around while I've been playing, and someone that's probably worth paying attention to from again third-hand information from what I know is so this is why notes come important at this time of night is Frosty. I don't know if that's a name that's come to you anyway.
I'm sure you can understand I have to be a little careful about how I discuss the progress of the investigation.
Like we say, it's a question and question, but you're the chief.
I don't believe for a second that you killed Mr. Sagar.
The only thing I killed yesterday was Dilabru's buckyball team.
I'm not convinced that none of your associates did, and I'm not convinced you're not covering for someone you know committed the crime. However, for the time being, you've answered enough of my questions. I have a reasonable idea about your movements, and I know where to find you. I'm expecting this to be resolved in the next few days, one way or the other.
I hope so.
So, for the time being, if I call you, please answer immediately.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that.
Excellent. Now, if you could arrange for certain members of your party that I have a particular interest in to come and visit me today, that would be much appreciated.
Not a problem.
In particular, I am interested in Kara, Stefan, Agnar, Zoe, and Sammy Cress.
Sammy Cress?
Out of left field.
What's Sammy done? Kara, Agnar. She sort of plays that through in her head. Okay, Kara, Agnar, Stefan, Zoe, Sammy. Wow, okay. I can see why you've got interest in those, because I know that's interesting. Okay, we'll do that. You're not interested in Horace von Cotswold, though?
I'm not familiar with the name, but I'm sure
you will be.
It'll come up at some time in the investigation.
I've got a feeling Kara's probably got a hangover. I'll ping Agnar a message and tell him that I'm done. Cool, thank you. She sort of downs the rest of the water and says, do you always work on the ship, or do you roam the ships?
This is my ship for the time being, but it's not the only one I've ever worked.
Are you coming back again for the return?
Oh, yes.
I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we can enjoy a spa together. And then she stands up and offers a hand for a handshake. And I don't know whether it's taken or not, but either way,
it is.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure. And she stops and for the first time, she looks very seriously into Sharp's eyes. She says, I do want to catch the killer. I don't want them out there. And I want to find out who killed this fine man. He was going to be helpful to us. And so we've got a vested interest in getting justice served. And then she turns and she walks out of the room.
One more thing.
Oh, one more thing. Hang on. Whoa. Wait. Hang on.
He's Columbo.
We need to get Agnar up for the one more thing. One more thing. Yes.
Just a strange question, because it's something that you might not have given any thought to. If I was going to murder someone on a cruise line like this, I'd kill them on the last day, not the first day. Because on the last day, there's a fighting chance the body wouldn't even be discovered before you disembarked and disappeared. On the first day, you're going to be trapped on the ship with people hunting you for a full week. Which makes me think he was killed when he was killed because something important was going to happen on the ship this week that had to be stopped. Which means I'm going to be very, very interested in this help he could have provided you. And the fact that he's now unable to provide it.
So
Thoughts?
I think when Cara comes in, ask her to show you a photo.
My tastes normally don't go that way, but okay.
It's not that sort of photo.
Oh, okay.
She sort of smiles and does a little nod of the head, a little deferential nod of the head, and then wanders off, seeing if she can take any mug coasters on her way through security offices.
Yes, excellent. As you pass on the way out, can you make a quick streetwise check for me, please, with
Dice
intellect?
are so cold, Ben. That's my fault, though. It's not your fault. That's okay. 8 plus 2 is 10.
Okay. As you pass that same office you saw on the way in, a youngish woman wearing a business type attire bustles out of the room and nearly collides with you, sort of apologizes, and then as she sort of catches glimpse of who you actually are, sort of freezes mid apology and looks slightly flustered and says, "Oh, right," and turns around to make sure that the door is closed behind her.
Do I recognise her?
No.
Do you recognise me?
I know who you are.
Do you know who I am?
You seem to be making sure that I can't see through that door.
I find it's one of the purposes of doors.
You look very smart in your suit. Is your job to look smart?
One of them. Anyway, it's lovely to meet you.
Soraya holds her hands out. It's lovely to meet you. My name's Soraya, by the way. What's yours?
July.
An absolute pleasure. Are you watching the game today?
Oh, I hope so.
Well, are you geeks or Bilaveru?
I'm not allowed to be either.
Oh, well, you know. Blink once for yes and twice for no. No, it's okay. Well, you do recognise me, it seems, July. Where do you see my face from? Was it from my glorious exploits yesterday?
I heard about those, but no.
Oh, news travels slowly on this ship.
I'm
could talk
familiar
you
with
through
you in a professional capacity.
I could
can't
talk you
really
through my
say
innings
more.
if you want.
I know of you in a professional capacity, but I'm sorry, I really can't go into details for obvious reasons.
That's okay. Well, a pleasure to briefly run into. It's always nice to meet a fan. She sort of blusters a little bit at that, and then she wanders off from there.
Okay.
And as she goes, Spry will drop a message to Kara saying, check crew manifest for July. Tim! You're right. Tim.
We have an authentic Tim mention. Tim.
Strong Tim. It's been a while since we've had a good Tim. There are Tims on the ship, but we've not really approached a Tim. A good Timming. We need a good Timming from time to time.
A proper Timming is in order.
But yeah, proper Timming from time to time.
To keep those Tims in their check.
I've missed a good Timming.
So you head back into the main body of the ship, and do so, passing information to the other members of the team who've actually been named by Sharp to make sure that they're aware that she's looking forward to interviewing them. Is there anything else you want to pass along?
No. So all I need to know is I'll share with them what they've been told. So it's a shared consciousness, I guess, which makes things a billion times easier.
It does.
I'll suggest that the crew do the best they can to bring Kara and Agnar to the forefront. If that makes sense, of course. They're the talky people. They're probably the ones that we can push forward as well. And then sort of let Zoe and message Sammy to say why on earth she'd be interested in her. Because that's a bit weird. Have you been up to anything, Sammy, while we've been on the ship?
Sammy responds immediately with, I can't think of a single thing.
Well, she wants you. She wants you, but we'll push Agnar and Kara to the front of the list, I guess, and hopefully they won't need to mess with your day. Stefan, don't rush. We might be able to sort it. You know, she cares for Stefan.
Don't be in a hurry, Stefan. She's going to ask questions.
Stefan hasn't even had to snooze his alarm yet. He doesn't normally snooze an alarm because, Soraya's on it all the time. So he's just sleeping.
He's going to wake up to about 43 messages from group messages on the group WhatsApp. Yeah.
That classic.
Yeah, whoa, what's this? It's like when Ben wakes up to us two messaging on a Sunday.
It does happen.
It does.
And then she's gonna so as long as she knows, everyone knows everything.
Yep.
Asked Sammy what on earth. Told Kara and Agnar to push themselves forward to the front, I guess. Messaged Kara to search for July. Shared everything from there. Then she's off to change back into her blazer, her geek's shirt, grab the scarf. She's going to fish out one of those fishy hats that's covered in booze, so she'll have to wring it out a little bit. And then she's off to watch the game for the day, hopefully.
Okay. Well, as you sort of emerge once again from the stateroom, there is indeed it's even busier on the main concourse, and people are beginning to take their seats, waiting for the toss of the coin. But we will wait till next time for that. I think this is a good time to break for the evening.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, that's good. That gives me and you a week to prep Agnar and Kara. This is good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, there's been some revelations, I think. There's been a lot of sniffing.
A lot of sniffing. A lot of sniffing.
There's been a lot of sniffing.
Revelatory sniffing.
Yeah.
You know what there's not been a lot of until this moment? Rose's cat.
Oh,
do we have a Rose's cat?
Just like that.
Of course we do.
Okay, let me wet my whistle for a second, and then I will read Rose's cat.
Some whistle whettings.
Mm-hmm. So, meanwhile, on the Baltic Star, during normal operation, The lift to the cargo bay aboard the Baltic Star was in general use. Most of the everyday supplies the ship needed, even before the daily routine was upended by shipyard crews moving about, was stored there. Rose's cat had ventured into the lift many times, but usually ran out again as the doors closed, or was gently pushed back out again by a friendly hand or foot. Today, however, the cat was more determined. The reason was ultimately simple. Caboodle clearly counted the entire ship as her fiefdom. Therefore, there could be nowhere that was unexplored by her. She followed an oblivious Rachel Axis down in the lift and smartly leapt out to find a scene that would fill the heart of any cat with utter joy. As far as she could see, piled high in neat rows, was a field of boxes. Boxes were an exceptional thing. What the crew could possibly need them for was completely lost on the kitten, but she knew instinctively that their real purpose was to sit in. Giddy with excitement, the cat scampered off to find the perfect box. A nearby stack was perfect for her to climb, jumping easily from one box to another. Once at the top, she was disappointed to discover that the boxes were all closed. But it didn't matter. From this vantage point, she could see dozens of stacks around her, many of them near enough to jump to without returning to the floor. It was a perfect place for a cat to explore, even better than expected. One nearby stack even had an open box on the top. So Caboodle leapt across and settled down inside, wriggling her haunches with purrs of joy. It was perhaps an hour later that the kitten became aware that the temperature in the cargo bay was kept at a slightly lower level than the passenger areas of the ship. She jumped out of the box, stretched extravagantly, and jumped down in the direction of the lift door. Unfortunately, the door was closed and didn't respond to her verbal commands, no matter how loudly she shouted them. She turned to see if there was somewhere warmer in the cargo bay, and after just a few minutes, she found the perfect place. A device consisting of a small tabletop that emitted a bright orange light, generating a soft heat for anything placed upon it. It couldn't have been more perfect for a cat. The top of the device already had some of its area occupied by large leathery objects that were roughly spherical and translucent enough that their contents could be seen silhouetted by the orange glow. Caboodle didn't mind sharing her warm surface, as there was more than enough to go around, so she settled down to sleep on the orange light, watching the jerky movements of the shadows inside her leathery companions.
Oh no. I have a feeling I know what that is.
Wait a second. That's not a big callback, is it?
It's
It
got a
really
massive
is.
mower,
That feels like a really big callback. That is a strong callback.
Oh,
This is a pre-Twitch. This is a pre-Twitch callback.
This may actually go. I'm not sure it's technically the very first or the second session. This goes back that far.
A second. So this is like, yeah, this is months before we started twitching.
Mm.
This is strong.
we may have referenced them at some point during our streams.
Well, thank you for the point, Sparrow. I hope you enjoyed the story.
I enjoyed that. This is
It was
good.
a classic cat.
What are we going to come?
interaction.
We're going to come back to an overrun ship of horrors. This is great.
They're going to wake up and think that Caboodle is their
mum.
mummy.
Caboodle's the mum. Oh, this is
Good
great.
vibes.
It's good. We've loved having you around. There's been a really good chat tonight, guys.
It has been.
It's been
It's
a really
been
nice
really
fun. I'm going to go looking for things. Why don't you lot tell us what's happening over the next few days while I go searching for things?
Okay, well, tomorrow night is another one of our top fives of everything specials. And tomorrow's lists are inspired by the word fish.
Fish.
Because, I wasn't consulted, so we've ended up with fish.
Don't moan.
It's
Fish.
accurate, to be fair.
It has turned out to produce some rather remarkably impressive lists, though. So that's what we're doing tomorrow, and that'll be 11 p.m. UK time. And then on Sunday night, Luke, are you beginning a new game?
I am. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Ali, by the way. It's very yes. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I'm going to start. It's slightly controversial because it makes me a little bit more powerful than the last game, but we're going to start playing through at least Hitman 1 and 2. I know Hitman 3 is out. It depends whether I can afford the third one. But we've got a good number of sessions. I'm going to try and do a mission a night, if possible, or at least half a mission. I've played Hitman 1 through before, but there's many ways to play it through. And I'm used, I've played a lot of games and I've played for years, but I'm still useless at them. And that's a little special joy we have as a group. So we're going to start playing through Hitman 1. All the missions on Hitman 1. We've kept the CLD, Ben, you'll be pleased to hear.
I'm very pleased. I mean, to be fair, we can come up with another TLA counter for other things, but I appreciate the fact that we can still keep a CLD.
C still stands for clonking, but it's the knocking out of people. Killing is a coward's way. And this is the person I have to kill for the mission. I don't want to kill anyone. C stands for the clonking, or Fids came up with something good, but like unconsciousness of something. Consciousness removal or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So anything that knocks them out without killing them counts as a C. That's a good thing. L is lockers, but instead it's in Hitman you change your outfit to try and blend in and hide. And and I can't remember what the L was that I picked for it, and Fids probably does. I picked a word that basically stands for the changing of clothes because it was livery. I've gone
livery.
I've gone 13th century on this CLD count. So L stands for livery. Like every time every time I change outfit, sometimes it will be for tactical measures, and sometimes because I'm panicking and running away. So that's a nice combo. And D still stands for death because I'm probably still going to die a lot of times.
Yep. No, I'm perfectly happy with the CLD, and I approve of the spirit of the conversion. If you see what I mean.
You are the official CLD counter. It doesn't count until you reset it to 000.
It's true. It is my role in life.
And to be fair, I think you'd be hard pushed to find a game where D doesn't stand for deaths.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of
donuts. In the Simpsons Hit and Run, it could stand for donuts, I guess.
Possibly.
That's great. So that's the next 2 days, and then then we've got a few days off before we hit a regular Thursday, which will be more Luke plays because I'm not doing a behind the screens again this coming Thursday, and then obviously we're back to the weekend, and next Friday is another Traveller session.
That's true.
And then Saturday.
The Saturday after, the 23rd. Is it the 23rd?
I think that might be 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks away. The Saturday the 23rd is when we spend all your money on Japanese food and alcohol, which I'm looking forward to a lot. So all you guys, we've said it before, all you guys that subscribed to us for the last however many months, which we say all the time, we really appreciate it. Right? It's not like just like paying lip service. We legitimately do. It's always shocking.
It's humbling.
Really humbling. And so we got to the $100 payout. I think we could get about 125, 130, I think, dollars, which will put to about 100 quid, which we just decided rather than just doing anything creative. People tend to spend it on microphones and things. We sound good. We look good. So we're going to Canterbury and dropping a lot of money on Japanese food and Asahi.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is, we were talking to, I think it'd be nice to do like a 30-minute. We're going to use Ewan's internet and my phone, and we'll live stream something mid-party.
Yes.
We're going to make Ben do the Gangnam Style dance. That's a guarantee. That's a Baltic Boys guarantee.
Luke, putting it out there.
I need to point out for those who don't know, I have certain mobility problems, which means that I'm pretty certain I'm physically incapable of doing this.
You can do it with
However,
your
I'm
hands.
happy to drink sake on stream.
There we go.
Stuff will happen. We'll come up with some things.
Well,
Some
we'll
music
at least chat, among ourselves and do something silly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Maybe
thank you, really.
Maybe
Well,
get
just to
some
say thank you to everybody for basically buying us dinner, which is really nice.
Which is lovely, really. One dinner every 6 months. That's all we need out of you guys. Just keep the subs coming.
Yeah, I'd be very, very happy with that.
Speaking of which, I've got to come up with some things for 6-month people. Actually, I've got to print some stuff off. I'll work out what's going. And check the Etsy. There's more Christmas stuff and things coming on there. A mug which Ewan needs to buy. Fids talked about badges and stickers, which I like the idea of, but I will not do them through Printful. I will do them through another provider and send them off if people want them, because Printful's a rip-off for small things, especially. It's not cheap for anything, but it's useful. I can set it up and ignore it, but for little things it costs too much for you guys. It's unfair,
And potentially we might know some better contacts that we can get stuff through and support other people.
Yeah. So
yeah, that would always be nice if we do know people who can help. Yeah.
I think so. So and then we'll get Ali to do some things because she's well creative. You still here, Ali? I'm going to make you make things for people. You can make Baltic Star themed chairs.
Thanks, Ali.
Lino prints. You can do Agnar Lino prints, man. Ali's selling her stuff in shops now, by the way. There's a big shout out in honour. Like, she's well skilled anyway, but she's got her lino prints, which are amazing, and there's a local shop that is now selling them. So, which is pretty cool. Not that anyone's local to Whitstable, Herne Bay, but that's good, right? It's good to have a friend that has that sort of thing. Oh, you got the meeples back as well. So Ali's got meeples for the peoples on Etsy, which is glittery meeples. She used my meeples to create a thingy, like the thing out of the mold, and then she's made meeples that are a billion times prettier than the meeples that I gave her. Sparkles, all the colours you could need. You're seeing them in the shop as well. Oh my goodness! I need to get involved.
And they're for the people.
I need to get involved in that. Meeples for the people.
What more could you want?
All meeples for the people in Whitstable. So if anyone's ever in Whitstable in Kent, in Kent in the UK, then head over, buy some lino.
We may actually have to do a trip to Whitstable at some point and see this happen. So that would be lovely.
Photos in the shop. I'll message Ali and work out exactly what shop it is. We'll do some Baltic Star photo shoots in the shop.
Cool. At the beach.
So any of you guys that follow and listen, the Discord, Fids has gone quiet. Are you still here, Fids? Because Fids is really good. If not, Sparrow's really good for Discord. Can someone bang the Discord up?
They're the link. They're the link.
Sure. The Greyhall lino print. Oh, I'd love a Greyhall. I keep going
that would be fantastic.
I want a Greyhall flag. I'm looking into sorting a Greyhall flag, but it's quite niche. But I want one. I want it to look a little bit communist behind me, to be honest. Greyhall, Reds. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Fids. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone that's still watching, join the Discord, and anyone that follows the Discord, anyone that is a creative, anything, come in. We've got a channel on there that's just for any of the creatives, and we will push and pimp and support you guys, because getting any creative venture off the ground is a nightmare in this day and age. Because people are just inundated with things, and there's some really cool stuff out there. So yeah. And anyone that joins Discord, we love, and we love to join you in really nonsensical 2 a.m. chats.
And lists about fish.
Yeah, go now. Vote for good fish lists for tomorrow. There's still time.
Yes, because we are going to be discussing fish tomorrow on an absolutely epic scale.
For 2 hours ish.
2 hours on fish.
2 hours on fish. What more could you want?
Ben, what was of all the things fish related, what was your top 5 list on fish that you came up with?
I came up with top 5 fish.
Top 5 fish. So we're going to come up with our top 5 fish. If you join in, you can come up with your top 5 fish too. Ewan, what was yours?
My list was the top 5 video games that involved or had a fishing element in them.
That feels like it had more thought into it.
I mean, I don't know. Does it?
It's not as
Is
pure.
there, is there more thought in anything that involves fish?
It's not as pure though.
It's not. It's not as pure fish.
There's a purity. Fish monsters. Interesting. Mine was the top 5 films where the ocean, lake, or river, aka the homes of fish, play a major part.
And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again tomorrow night probably, but I'm pretty stoked with my top 5 list for films.
Okay.
You're confident.
Films.
You're confident there's crossover, isn't there?
I mean, it's my top 5 list, so I should be confident about it, to be fair. But
yeah,
it's
and if you do tune in tomorrow, I mean, I don't know if it'll actually happen, but we've been threatened with a 1 minute of wisdom on something really bizarre. So tune in if you want to see that as well.
Intriguing.
Right? Do we have a raid lined up?
Oh
Luke?
yeah, sorry, I'll sort the raid out. So I got very carried away. Here
right.
we have the Dice Casters. The Dice Casters are playing Pathfinder. We'll join them. Episode 44. They're even further on than us.
Blimey.
The
Dice, and it's not D&D,
_casters.
which is
no, we love that.
to behold. To be fair,
raid.
I don't mind. I love D&D, but it's nice to see things that aren't D&D.
I like to live in the Twitch world of tabletop RPGs as opposed to D&D. It's a little bit. I've always been
variety
that sort of,
is the spice of life.
The spice of life.
And it's a little bit more exclusive somehow, isn't it?
I like living out there on the border. Do you know what I mean? Not with the cool kids. I like living out there with the weirdos. That's what I'm all about. Yeah.
Yep, me too. I mean, not by choice, but me too.
You're stuck between the two of them. You're stuck between 2 of them already. So we're going to raid the Dice Casters. We'll also go back to Discord. I'm guessing no one's got to rush away, guys. You up for a little while?
Oh no, I'll be around for Discord. Yeah, I mean, I'll be 5 minutes or so as usual while I freshen my lungs. But yeah,
cool. Let's raid. Let's say hello to Dice Casters. Let's give them support. They've only got like 3 or 4, and I've seen their stream before. They deserve more. It's like the people that sit in a hot tub and do nothing get thousands, and people that do legit stuff get nothing. And these guys are decent. Yeah. So big them up, and then we'll Discord as well. Yeah. So we'll do both. Cheers, guys.
Sounds lovely.
See you tomorrow. Stay with. Yeah, look. Well done. 5. That's good. 6. This is good. This is good. This is a nice raid. Off we go. Tally ho. Someone do the little horn.
Not hunting.
Not hunting. The Viking. We're off. There we go. Cool. Cheers, guys.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm going to run to